Welcome everyone to the first ever CKNA Senior Showdown. You just witnessed a practice go down, and we're already moving quickly on now. Of the originally qualified drivers, a couple of the All-Stars have opted out of this event. Colin Warren, Eric Fagan, a couple of the major notables. Colin Warren, the winningest driver of the CKNA Grand Nats. Eric Fagan, of course, at the MGM camp. They were not alone. There were a few others that have qualified for the event off whether it's champions, provisionals, divisional champs, or the like, that have led us down to 16 total superstars that will make up the grid for the inaugural CKNA All-Star Senior Showdown. Practice is now officially complete on the alternate layout. Christopher McKeithen going to the top of the charts initially there on the number 19 BJR PPK machine. There is a look over at the drivers' meeting. Rick Folks and Greg Josperson going to have a quick word with the drivers to explain the format, and while they are, we'll be able to explain a little bit of what have been the changes made for the slightly smaller field to all of you as well. Originally, the plan was to run 3 heat races of 8 drivers apiece. Well, obviously going from 24 drivers on the grid to 16 means that we'll be able to shave 1 heat race down, being that it's already a little bit later into the evening than originally planned. So that will cut things a little shorter. It'll be 8 drivers in each of the heats. Then from there, 3 will automatically transfer to the main event. There'll be 10 that will then go to the last chance qualifier, and not all of them will make it out to get to the final 23-lap 4-segment main event, where at the end of each of the initial 3 segment breaks, at the end of segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, they'll eliminate the lowest 2 placed drivers at that time. The heat races as well are very short. Everything is about trying to hit the fast forward button to bring you the action without the wait. Straight to battling with some of the best drivers in the CKNA Grand Nationals and overall the history of the Cup Karts North America program. 8 years of this event, and the way that drivers qualified to make up the 16 that'll be on the racetrack over the 2 heats, last chance qualifiers and main events, was a number of different ways. You had, of course, first the 2024 CKNA Divisional Champions in the South, the North, the East, and Canada. The champions in Senior Medium, Senior Light, and Senior Heavy, and a number of those divisions had double champions, drivers that won in Medium and in Light, that automatically punched their ticket into this inaugural event. Then you had the previous CKNA Grand Nationals champions over the last 7 iterations of this event. So if you'd won a Grand Nats title at any year since the inception of the CKNA Grand Nationals, going all the way back to CKNA Grand Nats 1, the class structure looked a little different. Paddock looked a little more open, a little bit smaller, a little less packed here to Grand Nats 8. Then you had a couple of other different ways that were creative to make up the final 16. Well, you had the top 2 spots in points from each of the divisions in how they ranked after the heat races that was going to open up and transfer drivers through. We had the CKNA fan vote on our official program Facebook page. Then craziness went down with Facebook, and yet still it was able to come back up. Luckily, a couple hours before the event, which was awesome. A huge kudos to Ashley and Greg and everyone that worked so hard. Again, the CKNA and overall karting community was fantastic in reaching out through all of our connections, all of our collective reach to get the CKNA Facebook page back up. But the fan vote on there attracted, in just a matter of 3 days from Tuesday to Friday, nearly 3,000 votes in total. 3 drivers stuck out towards the top. And since, well, there was the last 24 hours, 20 of them were with an unavailable page. And the last couple, when we were able to get the page back up and reopen the votes, half of those drivers were on the racetrack racing at the time and had no idea. So we took the whole top 3 from that event. From the fan vote. Anthony Quazeta, Addison Ianello, and Jerry Fandry Jr. all have transferred in off of your support, the viewers, your votes have taken those 3 drivers into this event. The top 3 ultimately were also given the option there, going back to P3, I believe, in the heat points, as a number of our divisional champs and reigning Grand Naps champs were backing up their levels as usual. Now, as you can see, making their way over the grid with the red box to draw. Well, there still are pit boxes on the grid like what we saw in the Out of the Box Challenge, and right now, again, the mechanics and teams are able to make changes based on what they learned in the practice session. While they're doing that, their drivers are up at the top of the grid and getting ready to decide who goes into what heat and where they start. There's no qualifying. It is a pack of 8. You might start pole, you might start 8th, but it's going to be a pack. It's going to be a fight. It's a 5-lap dash in each of these heat races to decide it. And then, of course, drivers that'll go into the LCQ from these heat races. We don't know who's going to be in what heat right now. So with that, that's where the red box coming over. Each driver will be given the opportunity to draw as to what heat they go in and where they start in each one. And from there, we're going back onto the racetrack, back-to-back heat races, short break, LCQ, final break, main event. And again, the breaks are really just to make sure that we get the drivers through the basics and allow them plenty of time to get ready to go back onto the racetrack for that final main event segment where we're going to be knocking them out.
Obviously, we will scale all together at the end. So when you are done, like when you know you're done, you've been eliminated, you won, you were in the final, whatever, you pull off back there. Okay? For this first heat race, everyone goes to that one. That makes sense? I know I should have written this out better. So, all right.
Can we put gas back after the heat?
You will have another 10-minute work on the Kart window between.
The heats and the fun.
Yep. Two heats. Yep, we eliminated heat. Were you up here for the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you didn't show up late. All right. Instead of having everybody crowd around me, I'm just going to literally walk around the horn. Take a ticket. Hi, Mark. Hi.
I don't know what this means.
First number is your heat. Second number is your starting position. So if the first number is not 1 or a 2, might have been this over.
I was like, you're right. Dude.
1-6.
Yeah. If you drop 1-6. Yeah, you can't drop it. Sorry. 1-7. 1-2.
First heat, second spot.
Outside ball.
Can we go back to the go-karts now?
Yeah, I'm gonna, unless you guys have a question for me. You guys, please, let's have fun with this.
Well, there you saw the live reactions of everyone. We at least know one of the starters, Paulie Massimino, is going to be going into heat number 1 and starting from the 2nd spot. And Caleb Jeska's down on pit lane as the last few drivers head back over to their karts. We're getting ready to roll. Caleb, can see you down there getting a little bit of an idea. Let's go ahead and first get that initial reaction from the drivers that weren't a part of the out-of-the-box challenge of what they can expect for this layout and what their gut reaction were to what they just drew for.
Firstly, for the out of the box, I still have to catch my breath after everything that transpired there. And again, for some of them that weren't a part of that, like Addison Ionello here on my right, she saw James Overbeck out there on the racetrack, which obviously didn't end the way that he would have wanted, but it was a crazy race from start to finish. And we'll ask Addison here. Addison, do you have that ticket with you? Where did you draw for this race?
Heat number 1, spot number 5. So we'll see what we can do.
So again, the number 1 at the start of it, that's the heat race that you're in, and then starting P5. So that's not too bad. How are you feeling? I know you were one of the late entries, a fan vote entry. So who'd you like to thank for getting you into this race?
Everybody. We messaged everybody we know. So if you made that Facebook comment, we really appreciate it. We're feeling good. I think warm-up went okay. So we'll see what we can do.
Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And I see Jeff Shaw as well, now retired driver that was racing here at CKNA last year. I had a couple of good showings. Jeff Shaw and Addison's dad working on her go-kart. Here we go back to Kel Zimmerman. We'll look where he's going to be. Again, the best-looking go-kart as well right here, winning the Ashley Award. Kel, why don't you work your way over here? Where did you draw, and what heat are you going to be racing in?
I drew the 2nd heat, 2nd position. So, honestly, not the best. I wish I could have been on the inside row. It's very fast in that left-hander back there in the 4 or 5. It's just going to be a brawl. I'm going to take it easy, to be honest. I have a good starting spot tomorrow in the final for medium, so not trying to mess up the go-kart or Jeff Shaw's beautiful graphics, Shaw stickers. But yeah, it's going to be a complete brawl. I kind of hope everybody has the same mindset as me, not trying to wreck up their go-kart. So hopefully it'll be a clean race. That's the most fun one, so I think it'll be good as long as everybody keeps their head on straight, but that's everything.
Well, best of luck to you, Kel.
Thank you.
Well, there you guys have it. This guy's quite tall. I'm having a look up. I am a lot shorter than him, so yeah, I know Xander's going to be laughing in the booth about that one. Wicked Nick Zobiak here. His kart here is on my right. Wicked Nick is actually way down here. Looks like he's working on the butterflies there on his kart. I would go down there and join him, but he looks pretty busy, so we'll leave Nick to it. Are you done? You going to talk? Well, let's get a word from you, man. Where are you starting? What heat race are you in?
So I don't know if this is good or bad. I drew the 1st heat, starting 1st. I don't know if it's good or bad. I have nothing to say on it. I don't know what to do with my hands either. So
yeah,
I don't know.
We'll see. He's lost for words just like I am here. Anyways, from what you saw in the out-of-the-box challenge, what are you kind of expecting, and how are you expecting the race is going to be?
Hopefully not like the final in the out of the box. I got a little wicked, but yeah, I'm hoping.
It's like your nickname, Wicked Nick.
Wicked Nick, exactly. Yeah, hopefully this goes really good. We got a good tuner behind us and good chassis too, so we're gonna do great.
Thank you. Best of luck to you, Kale. And that tuner that he's talking about, obviously Nick's dad, and the one and only Jay Bird, Jason Birdsell there working with him. So best of luck to Jason. I see a smile on his face there as well. The Prime Power team again debriefing here. Jordan Pryor, previous CKNA Grand National champion. I know he's debriefing here. Jordan, do you have a quick moment for a word? So you have a moment for a word? How are you feeling, man? And how do you feel after that out-of-the-box challenge? How do you think the racing's going to go?
It's going to be tough, but, we didn't get any laps in for practice. We had an mechanical issue, so it's going to be challenging to adapt quickly to it, but it's a lot of fun.
So a lot of question marks for you, and we'll wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Sorry, last question. Where did you draw, actually, and what heat and what position are you in?
So the luck adds. I'm in the 2nd heat, starting 8th. So my luck is just, it can only go up from here, I guess, right?
Yeah, only way is up there, man. Best of luck to you. So supporting the Prime Power team, the first of the Canadians, if you want to look for them. Oh, Greg Jasperson right behind me. That's the big boss, so my apologies here to Greg. And I just heard 30 seconds before he blows the horn. Mike Adams there as well. One of the contenders in the out-of-the-box challenge, Hudson Brown. A new go-kart, different go-kart for him, I should say, the Snappy Neck powered engine getting set to go green. The Coyote lead man, Jim Lapari, working through. Best of luck to you, Jim. Chris Carroll as well here. And this is the coolest thing for me, Xander, that I really like about this event. You have a couple of the older guys in this class. Chris Carroll's right there. Mark Steele as well is going to be in this race. And a couple of the young guns like James Overbeck, like Kel Zimmerman, like Addison Ianello, like Wicked Nick, and like Hudson Brown and the reigning champ, Christopher McKeithen as well. It's going to be a pretty cool event. And a couple of late entries to this event here as well. Paulie Massimino, James Overbeck again after what was a hectic out-of-the-box challenge race. So we'll see how it kind of turns out for everybody. You see Paulie working his way through. This guy looks super excited. I can't see his expression on his face, but I can assure you it's definitely a smile or a serious face. We'll work back here. A couple of the other operations, a couple of the late entries. Jerry Fandry. Jerry, how's it going for you? You were one of the fan vote winners. Who would you like to thank for getting you into this?
Oh, dude, there's so many people I got to thank, man. I mean, I have such a big family back home in Illinois, and, a huge shout out to all of my family and, all my friends as well. And, yeah, huge thank you to all of you guys. We were purple in that third heat earlier, and so, I feel like we deserve to be here. And we're going to show them, Caleb.
Well, there you have it. Jerry, where are you starting and what heat are you in?
I'm in the second heat. I'm starting inside row third.
Inside row 3.
Well, inside, yeah.
Just a little bit of grammar. I'm messing with you. But, hey, again, how does it feel that you and your dad are doing this together? I know just you two guys, taking the fight to some of the other bigger teams that are here.
Oh, man, Caleb, it's been no different from what we've been doing since day one, really. Outside of having a little bit of help from AEM karting back in the day and a lot of other folks that my dad has known since he's grown up, it's really just been me and him. And, getting here and being able to experience this with my dad has been amazing, dude. And, we're ready to get going.
Well, wish you the best of luck there, Jerry. So, again, one of our own, getting it done here. We'll let you get ready. So he's getting through. And again, just behind the scenes, you see the kart chaser on the back of his suit. He's one of our longtime camera guys, was filming the first Super Nationals when we were out there. So, yeah, good to see one of our own out there getting set to go out onto the racetrack. Again, correct me here if I'm wrong, Xander. I believe only 8 drivers starting throughout the heat races. And we'll take a look on what's going to be the live grid and the live starting order for those drivers that we didn't hear from. Jim Lapari working his way through there. And again, I may not be the best backwards walker here because I am running into a lot of people. Ran into Greg Jasperson, ran into Jim Lapari. So I'm not as good as I was in that first hot grid walk. But we look back here, Brady Atwood just at the tail end, James Overbeck. You go into the third row with Christopher McKeithen, Addison Ianello. You go up to Poirier, Chris Carroll, your reigning 206 heavy champion, starting on the inside of row number 2. Paulie Massimino going to start alongside him, and I think we're missing one more as well, just at the very front. No, my mistake. On the front row, it's going to be Wicked Nick, Paulie Massimino, row 2, Chris Carroll and Poirier, Ianello, McKeithen to Overbeck, and to Brady Atwood. I tell you what, Joe's out here. James Overbeck still in good spirits after what was a crazy out-of-the-box challenge race. So we'll see how it all turns out, but with all that being said, we'll send it back up to you guys in the booth.
Caleb was right on par. The night lights lighting up Castle Motorsports Park. It's been a long day, but we're capping it off with one heck of a nightcap here with the Senior Showdown, folks. So, yes, Caleb's right. It's 8 drivers. That was part of the original plan. Up to 8. It was the maximum we were going to run in the heat races to this point. Well, of the 8, the top 3 finishers will automatically go through to the main event. The bottom 5 will go and meet the bottom 5 from the other heat race, because there's going to only be 2 heats of the total 16. We'll meet them together in the last chance qualifier. That last chance qualifier we will only take 4 from for a 10-driver main event. And again, the bottom 2 will get eliminated until we get down to our final 4 that will battle it out for an opportunity to win a brand new chassis from any of the manufacturers that have lined up on the grid for the Briggs out-of-the-box shootout. And a few of the drivers were in that, and most were not. Jordan Pryor in the next group had some mechanical issues. He goes in a bit blind. The rest of them at least got a little bit more intel with that practice session. So it's Wicked Nick Sobiek on the inside in the blue and black VLR. Paulie Massimino, that one's a late entry, as Caleb mentioned. He raced his way into this deal. James Overbeck transferred in off of a Grand Nats provisional. Nick Sobiek, a divisional champ this year. And now the rest of the opening heat race field are ready. It is 5 laps on the board for heat number 1 of 2 in the senior showdown. 5 laps, and it is away. Green flag in the air. We're racing down to turn 1. Good start for the 8 drivers here, and the pack is off and running now, and already 3 together. Overbeck, Iannello, and 1 more. Right off the bat, we lose, and there's 2. Oh no, that's them getting back on the racetrack. So that was Addison Iannello. Looks like Mikhail Abed-Poirier. Oh man, chaos right from the jump. Yeah, we right from the jump there in turn number 3. Meanwhile, Paulie Massimino, Chris Carroll side by side in the infield there. The top 3 at this point. Paulie taking a big look over his shoulder. He thought he needed to go to second. Actually, well, they've got a pretty decent gap back to Christopher McKeithen and Brady Atwood there in the number 9. But 3 of the 8 out in the very first corner. Overbeck was able to at least somewhat continue. And now a change in the lead here. Chris Carroll to the inside of Nick Sobiek there through turns 1 and 2.
So now Chris Carroll in the lead. Top 3 pulled away from your 4th place driver, which I believe is Keithan.
They're battling for second place, or a good battle for second place. Carroll up front.
Carroll pulling away as they battle for that second place, and that's what he needs them to do. Yeah, guys, do battle while I just keep driving away. But they did close the gap again on him.
But keep in mind, again, here, it doesn't matter about winning this one so much. That's just the starting order. Yes, it might help, but you're more concerned about staying in the top 3 because that's the transfer zone. Right. So that's what's the important part of this entire deal right here, is staying in the top 3 spots. They're already coming to the conclusion of lap number 2. James Overbeck is not giving up back there in 6. He's still trying to go. Addison Iannello and Mikhail Abed-Poirier were also able to continue. But again, they're so far back that outside of a last lap crash here for the transfer spot, they will not be going through, and they will have to fight their way through the last chance qualifier. Through turn 5 we go, and it's the PPK BJR Coyotes 1 and 2. But then the third of their teammates in this group, 4 of them all in this race. Chris McKeithen's on the outside looking in. Now he's trying to race his way in. He'll take over third from Wicked Nick Sobiek in the infield.
Yeah, a good move by McKeithen there to get into that 3rd place. And like you're saying, Xander, that's where you want to be, in the top 3. And once you're in there, maybe you just want to settle down and hold it, unless, of course, you're being pushed from the rear. So like Chris Carroll, hopefully, well, he's going to have to do battle.
Well, 3 laps in, 2 laps to go, just like that, across the timing line right there at the finish line loop. Paulie Massimino going to the lead. Ian Quinn said it best earlier. Again, you got to be selfish. This is an all-out race here. Just a short battle to fight for the first 3 spots that'll go straight to the main, have a shot to win a number of different prizes. And Chris McKeithen, he's on the bubble spot right now in the number 19. Chris Carroll following Paulie around, a lap and a half to go on this short layout. Again, these races are fast and furious through the infield, already most of the way through heat number 1. The heat 2 drivers suited, ready, helmets on the grid as the pack of 4 of the 5 kind of stay a little bit further low into that last corner. Coming to the white flag this time by. You can see Overbeck, top of the screen. He's trying to get there. He is unbelievably quick right now by himself. Purple again for the number 48. But he's so far back, having to go wide on that crash. He still needs something more to happen. Paulie Massimino continues to lead the way as Brady Atwood fades a little bit further back.
Yeah, with just final lap here, I don't think Overbeck could do it. He is running the fastest lap out there a number of times, not just once, except now Massimino turned the fastest lap, but Massimino might have some help getting there.
Well, Sobiek now is the only one that could play spoiler in this deal. Right. Paulie's going to defend low, Carroll to the high side, McKeithen to the low side, and now Chris Carroll goes to the bubble spot. Here comes Sobiek. And remember, it's not that original start-finish line we used today. It's after the 90 here. So we've got the head-on run right here. This is going into the last turn on the last lap. Paulie going low. So will McKeithen, so will Carroll. Wide run, but I don't think Sobiek got it. Not enough.
Nope.
And so 3 of the BJR PPK Coyotes will transfer through directly to the main. Paulie Massimino, Christopher McKeithen, and Chris Carroll. 1, 2, 3 it in heat number 1. And Nick Sobiek will be the first man out, looking in and having to race his way into the big show here. He mentioned going into this one that he was not sure whether or not it was good or bad to be starting from the pole. Well, it was not bad for him, but sadly not good enough. 4th for the VLR driver, so he'll have to go to the last chance qualifier. So will Brady Atwood, James Overbeck, Mikhail Aubin-Poirier, Addison Ianello, and Overbeck. Again, we're all a part of that turn 3, lap 1 incident that set them way back from the group. I'm sure the drivers in Heat 2 are hoping that that doesn't happen to them. They're the bottom half of that group right there listed, and you can see them lined up on the grid. I know that we should be able to also, again, maybe pull a little slow motion replay of what went down at turn number 3 to see how that all transpired at the beginning of heat number 1. But you've got the other half of the drivers again lined up here for heat number 2 and ready to do battle. All the way back to Jordan Pryor, who said, as he mentioned here, seems like his luck, it's just the way that it's been going here tonight with himself having to go to the back of the grid. But on the other end, well, Jerry Fandry in the TB kart is going to lead us to green, one of our 3 fan vote inductees. He gets to lead off heat number 2 alongside another one of the very fast VLR entries here that will complete that front row. And that is none other than Cale Zimmerman, who was decent in the opening practice session, but 9th for the 505. Fandry, 5th in that opening practice session there. Quick words there from Greg Jasperson over at Cup Karts North America before heat number 2 gets underway, and then it'll be time to send them out, and then a short break to allow them to make any quick repairs for that last chance qualifier, and then it's right on in to the main event. So we're going to bring them over and begin to set up here for our second heat race on the evening. But you can see, as mentioned, the lime green TB there, Jerry Fandry, Cale Zimmerman, and it looks like we are missing off the grid who the drivers that would have drawn 3rd and maybe 5th, unless they're just lined up in a bit of an awkward way there. I see that we've got one more lined up behind Jordan Pryor, and then a gap in front of Mark Steele. Obviously, Adam Maxwell drew the 4th spot. That might kind of move them around. Either way, we should have just about 8 of them. We know the top 3 from this race are going to transfer on through into the next stage, all the way bypassing that last chance qualifier and going to the main event. Here's a look at kind of that side-by-side moment. And, well, I mean, Miguel Aubin-Poirier, James Overbeck, door-to-door. And I don't know. I mean, it's just wheel-to-wheel racing there in turn 3. We've kind of seen it. Can't really say that was pinned on anyone. Just, you know, close quarters action.
Yeah.
That's part of it, right, of what will happen. So here we go for heat number 2. 5 laps on the board for these drivers. Once again, it's a quick run on the outlap to try and learn the last little bit, maybe try and feel the gear out a little bit. Adam Maxwell, again, is going to be lining up on that second row. He's in that blue and white Coyote machine for the family-owned AMAX racing operation. And beyond Adam, well, we've got more in the field, of course. Mark Steele in the number 34. He was 11th in the practice session. Anthony Quazetta, another one of the fan vote drivers, will be in this one. Owen Lloyd was going to be lined up in this heat race as well. This one's only going to end up looking to be 7th, going back to Jordan Pryor, who I think is going to be all by his lonesome on that last row. And again, he got 0 laps in the practice session. So for Jordan Pryor, this is truly flying blind and trying to figure things out as they hit him fast. So can he make his way into the show? Jerry Fandry again in the lime green TB on the inside. All the way back, Hudson Brown as well, I believe, was slated to be in this one. So here we go, looking for the green flag. There he is on the inside, rolling from row number 2. Green flag in the air for Heat 2. 7 drivers in this one. Top 3 advance as they're green and away down to the first corner. All good through turns 2 and 3 now as the field rockets over to turn number 5. 5 laps the distance here for heat number 2 in the CKNA Senior Showdown. And right off the bat here, Jerry Fandry Jr. leads over Cale Zimmerman. These two have spent a lot of laps racing against each other. A couple of Midwestern's own superstars. Can they push away to secure the top 3 spots here? Hudson Brown, though, he looked pretty solid in that out-of-the-box shootout. And now the Gold Kart driver closes back on up to Cale Zimmerman. So Mark Steele lined up behind him. Little gap back to, I believe, Anthony Quazeta there on the Ricardo kart, the blue and black Burrell Art manufactured machine. And then Jordan Pryor, again, back of the pack right now, but trying to work his way forward. Needs a little bit of movement in the front. Will he get it? You've got 4 different manufacturers from 4 different teams. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good brand diversity, Tony.
Yeah, right now Hudson Brown sitting on the bubble, and he's got to try to stay with Zimmerman. I'll tell you, Fandry's doing a good job up there up front. He's really moving pretty quick. But it was Hudson Brown who did go purple in that last lap. So Hudson Brown's got the speed, but he's just got to remain cool, stay in that top 3. This way he moves on to the next thing, and he doesn't have to run the LCQ. But it seemed like he just dropped off a little, but he is on the bubble. Now, whether or not he could get Zimmerman or Fandry, we'd have to wait and see. And they're staying pretty much in line.
Now, we just got word from race control during that transition to the next race that the start order for the main event for the heat race drivers that directly transfer, aka the top 3 finishers from heat 1 and heat 2, they'll get ranked against each other off of best lap time. So 1st to 6th set by the single best lap of the session. Beyond that, of course, will be the last chance qualifier top 4 in order, starting 7th back to 10th. So Cale Zimmerman setting the provisional best time of the session would potentially rank better or worse. Oh, big mistake out of Fandry. The leader drops a tire.
Cale Zimmerman up.
And now he's got dirt on the tires, and at the same time, Mark Steele moves into the bubble zone.
Right.
And so Mark Steele now onto the hot seat. Hudson Brown goes from the inside to the outside looking in, and it'll be 2 to go this time by. 3 down. 2 laps remain here in this 5-lap shootout.
Yeah, so when Fandry made that mistake, Mark Steele quickly took advantage of that and was able to move up into 3rd, putting Hudson Brown back and forth. So now Mark Steele on the bubble. And I just saw Adam Maxwell, who's in 5th. He went purple. So we get some, you can tell these are your fast drivers out there, because we've had 3 different people go purple in just these last 4 or 5 laps.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 right now. Nearly 5, like you said. Adam Maxwell starting to feel the flow a bit.
Yep.
Jordan Pryor's also starting to move. Anthony Quazeta's trying to hang tough there back in 7th. At the line this time by, it'll be the white flag. Here they go towards the final corner. Cale Zimmerman frantically looking back, looking for help. Jerry Fandry's not giving it to him. He'll go back to the lead with help from Mark Steele.
Fandry is really running good here tonight. He made that mistake there, but he took it back now. He's back in the lead.
Again, Jerry Fandry Jr., you heard from him there in that quick moment with Caleb on the grid that even though he got in off the fan vote, he wanted to prove that he felt like he deserved to be here. He has led all but 1 lap so far of this 5-lap heat race and has been safely in most of the way. Mark Steele fading a little bit low at the entry to a couple corners. He knows he's just got to stay in 3rd. Cale Zimmerman wants the lead though on the last lap. Steele side by side. Fandry off and into the dirt. Side by side for the pair of them. Here comes Hudson Brown looking to go on Mark Steele. They're all safely in right now. That's why it was so crazy. You saw Steele and Fandry go hands up at each other. They both are in. Hudson Brown now under fire for 4th. To the line, Cale Zimmerman wins the 2nd heat race. Fandry will transfer. Steele will transfer. Mark Steele with a slick over-under on the last corner as Jerry Fandry falls to 3rd, but it will still be enough. he will directly go through to that main event. And Mark Steele letting Cale know exactly how to get off the racetrack there. He's pointing around, and, well, the veteran's showing the kids, hey, this is why you listen at the drivers' meeting. Cool. That's why it's nice to have a little bit of that extra experience in the field. So Mark Steele ends up second. Cale Zimmerman, your winner. Jerry Fandry third. Hudson Brown, Adam Maxwell, former two-time champ Jordan Pryor, and Anthony Quazada will complete the other 5 from heat number 1 to make up the last chance qualifier and to decide who will go through to the main event. So we had 1 against scratch from this one. It was originally slated to be 8, ended up down at 7. Still though, 9 karts to the last chance qualifier. 4 will make it for a 10 kart main event final shootout as all drivers get to go back into the pit lane. Great run from Cale Zimmerman. Mark Steele, in the craziness of his weekend, well, it's just going to stay a little bit longer. He's going through to the senior showdown. Good congrats there, Jerry Fandry, Mark Steele, Cale Zimmerman. Can you imagine the nerves right now of being a driver in one of these 5-lap races, knowing how crazy it is? I mean, this is putting them in a box and really watching them score. Fun for us to watch, though.
Like you said, the top 3 had it wrapped up, and Mark Steele decided, well, I'm going to go for the lead anyway. And he did a great job of taking that lead. And Mark Steele able to hold on to that second place, and Foundry ending up at third. At least he still made the feature, so to speak.
Well, so for the last chance qualifier, I imagine, I know that race control is still doing everything they can to set the grids and prep all of that. We're going to give them a moment to do so with all of the action that has just transpired. In the meantime, the top 3 from each of the heats, they can at least take a deep breath and know that they're going to be a part of the main event. Chris Carroll, and again, the rest of the drivers from heat 1, they were having to stand by and wait to not get any extra advantage or any additional time to work on their karts compared to the drivers in heat number 2. So they had to sit by the wayside, watch and see who were going to be the drivers that joined them in the main event. And it'll be Cale Zimmerman, Mark Steele, and Jerry Fandry automatically going through. Wicked Nick Sobiek, James Overbeck, Hudson Brown, Jordan Pryor. I mean, the stout list, it just goes on and on. This is the All-Star event, and there's some big names that will not get to make it all the way to the end. That's what makes it so exciting and so fun to watch, so impressive. It's why even here at nearly 11 p.m. Eastern at night, there are still plenty of people around watching this event and taking it all in.
What a race. Yeah, so now what do we get? We get ready now for the LCQ, right?
Yeah, the last chance qualifier will be next. I don't believe they're going to go as long of a break as they did after the practice. I think they're just going to give the drivers quickly enough time to
check out their stuff.
Yeah, I mean, take a quick once-over, be ready to go, and timing and scoring has to set the grid and finalize that end, make sure everything's all clear on race control's angle. So that's going to allow us the time for a quick word from our partners. Our probably final time tonight we'll do so. And then when we come back, we'll have Caleb Vieska down on the pit lane, getting some more insights, and 2 more races to run here tonight.
Brandon, why are there all these charges for just over $200 from Acceleration Kart Racing's website?
That's because AKR gives you free shipping on orders of $200 or more within the continental U.S.
Okay, but I thought you were just getting a pair of gloves. That's what, 70 bucks?
But if I'm getting a new pair of gloves, I might as well get a new pair of shoes to match. And then on top of that, I'll get a neck brace because with the shipping, it's basically free.
Yeah, I do not think the math checks out on that.
Everything you need, all in one place and shipped to your door for free for orders of $200 or more. Exclusions apply. Spend responsibly. Shop AKR.com.
Looking for a team with a diverse calendar? How about a team that offers both full support and teaches you and your kid how to do all the work yourself? For us at Drive Your Line Kartsport, fostering growth on and off the track in a family environment is what we do. Well, that and bringing home some hardware. Contact us today online at dylkartsport.com.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
Are you looking for an advantage in your competition? Well, Car Class has done the hard work for you. We've traveled to your racetracks to give you the inside knowledge. So what does Car Class offer? We've got drone footage that captures the racing lines, visual markers for your braking points, acceleration zones, and the best overtake opportunities on your racetrack. Pedal cam to show you where to brake and when to accelerate, and 360-degree footage to make sure you don't miss any parts on the racetrack. We've covered 13 racetracks in the United States, and Australia, you're up next. So visit carclass.com to get your track information.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of extra setup checks for the drivers that have raced their way directly through to the main event, and a last-minute as well overlook for the drivers that are going to have to go to the last chance qualifier. Adam Maxwell, one of them. Check it out here for the AMAX Racing Coyote. A little more fuel going in to top him off just enough to be able to make it through to the end of the LCQ and hopefully punch his ticket to be one of the 10 racing for all the prizes on the line in that 23-lap 4-stage main. Chris Carroll, Christopher McKeithen, a couple of the BJR PPK Coyotes, and along with Paulie Massimino, they can make the adjustments they feel like they need to, but at the same point, they're in a little bit less of an overall rush because they've all gone directly through. So, Caleb, let's go down the pit lane with you.
Thank you there, Xander. As we look on here, it's a big kind of Coyote invasion here at the back of the grid. A couple of, you could say, intruders. Jerry Fandry in the TB Kart, the only non-Coyote PPK machine that's out here. But you look on, to my left, Paulie Massimino here, Chris Carroll, Christopher McKeithen, all kind of doing their little bits and pieces. I see some adjustments going on to what looks to be some bar at the front, the bar that holds the bumper together. So some sort of bumper adjustment here, but Rocco, why don't we walk down to the front of the grid here? James Overbeck's on our left. Again, he's not safe. We'll probably end up in the LCQ after, unfortunately, getting wrecked there in the end. And I'm going to use you, Xander, to give me my eyes and ears. I'm going to walk backwards, not look back once. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually going to have to turn around here for this one. But the LCQ, not the LCQ, the grid is up here kind of. Everybody's getting to work here. You have Mark Steele. We'll talk to Mark here just a little bit. Again, the grid for the LCQ hasn't formed yet. Everybody's just in their pits. You have about under 5 minutes. Under 5 minutes. Mark, talk to me. I hear you just gave some words to your mechanics. What are you guys looking at to improve?
Just a little overall speed. I think we're pretty good. Just want to get set up for the long haul. It's 25 laps with some brakes in it. Just want to make sure we're there in the end, man.
Well, wish you the best of luck there, Mark. And last question here. I know you're racing against some of the younger guys, and we spoke a little bit earlier on this weekend. You said, I'm going to take the fight of the young guys, and I'm going to win this race. You still feeling as confident as you were earlier?
Yep. I'm going to win this race. I'm going to win it for my dog, Noah, man. He's having some issues. He probably won't be with us too long, so I'm going to do this for my dog, man.
Well, there you have it. Best of luck, Mark.
Thanks.
Thank you there for Mark. And I mean, this man has put in so much work for this very event, and you see stuff going on for him. But with 50 drivers, his business is for sure booming here this weekend, and he's looking to show his Steel Motorsports contingency how it's done. Brady Atwood, 206. Ashley, how much time do we have left here?
About just under 3 minutes.
So 2 minutes and a half. Thank you very much there, Ashley. Just got a trophy named after her. Pretty big time, I would say so myself. Hudson Brown here on my right. Hudson, walk me through that race, man. I see the front bumper with some damage. What transpired there?
What race are we talking about here?
We're talking about the one you just finished up with.
Oh, the heat race was, it was good. I was just pushing Mark Steele, and we tried to make it there, but I really think we just had the wrong gear on, so we're gonna change it and then hopefully make it into the final.
I wish you the best of luck. I know your grandpa Tony is supporting you, so I'm sure he's going to wish you the best of luck as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whether you guys have the Snap Your Neck powered engine and the Gold Kart getting ready. We look over here to our left, a couple of banana suits, a couple of the younger drivers getting excited here as they get ready. And this is a great family event, I should say here. Everybody in good spirits, having some good laughs and doing a good time and having a good time. One driver that fell just short there. Nick, we'll talk to you here pretty quickly. One spot short of the main event and making it into the big show. Walk me through kind of how you're feeling before this LCQ.
Yeah, I feel fine. We were second fastest, and I felt good. We just locked down really fast and just trying to relearn the track. A little high on air pressure, and I think I could have stuck it out, got third, but we'll move on to LCQ. We'll go from there.
Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Well, there you guys have it from Wicked Nick and the VLR racing machine. Everybody kind of starting to get gridded up here. So we have the grid here as well that they are kind of going to start to get lined up in. I'm going to let Addison Ianello work her way through. Kel Zimmerman giving her the last little bit of advice. Addison, walk me through that event because you and your boyfriend got tangled up in that first lap incident in the LC race. Walk me through it.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I got put off in turn 3, and then James had to go around and avoid it. So it's just one of those things. But we'll see what we can do in this LCQ.
And I heard that James checked on you, made sure that you were okay, but you didn't check on him. What's up with that, man?
Sorry, I was a bad girlfriend. I'm sorry.
Well, there you have it. These two lovebirds looking to get themselves into the main event. Thank you there, Addison. Best of luck to you. Kale, you made it in, dude, with a win. Walk me through that race.
Honestly, it was just a waiting game. I just wanted to push Jerry away. I knew Hudson was behind me. He had good pace, but he couldn't get right to my bumper where he had the chance to make a move, and I just kept observing that. When the last couple laps came in, Jerry made a mistake coming through the scoreboard. I went around him and then just led to the last lap. 2 to go. Jerry went by again, pushed Jerry as much as I could, but Mark was right behind me. Knew I had to make a move, otherwise Mark would have made the move. And then Mark and Jerry kind of got tangled up a little bit. Kind of gave me the win there. But I'd like to thank everybody behind me. I didn't expect much out of this race, just trying to save the chassis, trying to save the motor. But Ezekiel Height, thank you for the coaching. It's very appreciated, and he's the best coach I could ask for. And thank you to VLR and Shaw Stickers for all the support.
Well, there you guys have it. Best of luck to you in the main event.
Thank you.
So we're going to get out of the way here. There are some drivers working their way on to the grid here, and we are going to run that starting lineup here. I am trackside, so I am looking at it. It looks like Hudson Brown's going to line up there on the inside. Fell a couple of spots short. Wicked Nick Zobiak going to start on the outside. It looks like Adam Maxwell is going to line up there next to James Overbeck on the second row. And then you go back another row. One of the PSL machines of Poirier going to start further back. I think Overbeck going to get moved here. So I'll just wait how this all kind of lines up. But again, with Overbeck not putting in a lap, this is going to be based on their fastest lap of that race. And with some drivers DNFing early, going to put them way down the order. But that's kind of how it's going. The vibes are as high as they can be here, Xander. Everybody with smiles on their face. Everybody excited for the first edition All-Star Senior Shootout here coming your way in a couple of moments. So I'm back up to you guys.
Well, James Overbeck was able to finish, but again, he did get knocked off the racetrack. He ran some great laps, though. That did help him a little bit, but the way they've blended them is a bit different, of course. They've got the two groups together. I would imagine what they've got going on here, just kind of going off a logic of a little blend of lap time and how they finished in terms of the order to line the LCQ, and I think this is what they're probably going to do in the main event as well. I'm going to make sure I double check with timing and scoring to confirm this, but what they're probably doing is using the lap time as a tiebreaker. Nick Sobiek and Hudson Brown were both the first drivers on the outside looking in off the heat results. I would imagine Nick Sobiek's got the pole. Hudson Brown is second, just because of the fact that Nick was a bit quicker lap time wise. Then again, Adam Maxwell and Brady Atwood, they go head to head on lap times because they were the next ones in line. James Overbeck and Jordan Pryor head-to-head, Anthony Quazeta, Mikhail Albin-Poirier, and then Addison Ianello has been lined up in ninth. If, again, what we've got lined up on our screen is correct, which I have no reason to believe that it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I think it's logic that you said, so it makes sense.
The only thing that makes me doubt myself here is, the lanes are inverted on the grid. So Hudson's actually lined up on the pole, and everyone that I just said was on the inside's on the outside. Everyone's on the outside on the inside. If that's the case, then what the way that it transferred in didn't account on the software for the blend of the lap time tiebreaker, or if that was used. But that would put Hudson Brown, as we can see there, on the inside lane. So but Adam Maxwell there is still lined on the inside and Brady Atwood on the outside. So I do think that's what we've got. I think you knew you had a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, a 7th, and they had one lone 8th place unfortunate finisher, and that was Addison Ianello per this.
Right.
That's what's lined up your 9 for the LCQ. And then, again, each row, left or right side per row decided off of lap time. And I think that's what they were mentioning of how they were going to do the grid. Just kind of reading between the lines here for the main event as well. So I'm going to see if we can get that properly kind of sorted for you all with the starting grid and pull that off. Either way, it's going to be a short race still. A very short LCQ before the 4-stage main event. It was only 5 laps for the heat races. Well, now the last chance qualifier, 5 laps as well with 1 additional driver. It's going to be a little bit crazy. It's going to be another fun one to watch. The important thing is while it is 1 more driver in total on the session, it is also going to be at a 1 more driver in the transfer zone. So where we were at 4, that would transfer through to the main. Now we're at 3. Now we're going to be at 4. That will go through to that main event. So once again, the last chance qualifier for the inaugural Senior Showdown, this all-star event. What a blast it has been to watch the 2 heat races, and now it is desperation hour officially. Hudson Brown on the inside there in that white, blue, and yellow gold cart. The blue and chrome VLR for Wicked Nick Sobiek on the outside of row number 1. And then again, Brady Atwood trying to roll his way up the grid as well. Rolling back from the outside of row 4, Adam Maxwell on the inside there in the 3rd spot.
And there we go.
Yeah, here we are, green flag. Hudson Brown slides through ahead of Sobiek. He'll get clearing into the lead, and they're going to battle for 3rd over to turn 3. This was the trouble spot in heat 1. Maxwell will drop a tire, but everyone else is 4 wheels on the track and clean. Good so far. Once again, folks, here we'll pull that live timing on the left side of your screen for this last chance qualifier. Hudson Brown leading the way down and through what was the green corner. Now it's a full throttle 90. Nick Sobiek in tow. Brady Atwood there. He's moved himself up to 3rd, and the Coyotes are duking it out for the final transfer spot there in 4th. That's Overbeck now on Adam Maxwell.
So on the bubble is Overbeck, right?
Yes, now Maxwell out, Overbeck in. But a lot can change in 5 laps here.
Right. So now Brady Atwood is on the bubble.
No, so it's 1 more further back now. So it was 3 in the heats, Tony. Now we've got 4 that'll be in these ones.
4 transfer.
4 transfer. So Overbeck's on the bubble. Right. Yeah.
So Overbeck now just moved up to 3rd. While we were looking away there, James was moved up to 3rd. He brought Adam Maxwell with him, and just like that, Brady Atwood goes from on the inside to the outside, kind of looking in now.
Right.
So Brady Atwood back to 5th. Overbeck is quickly marching forward. Remember, he was purple in his heat race. Yep. Drove up towards the leaders even after having to go into the dirt. We know how fast James is, but we also know there is no love lost between James Overbeck and Hudson Brown after how that out-of-the-box challenge went. But they've got to put their differences aside, at least for the moment, if they want a chance to fight for the win in the Senior Showdown.
Right.
So play smart, fellas. You're still well into the safe zone. 2 laps complete. Now 3 laps to go here as they have officially crossed the timing line.
James Overbeck, we're all excited he's up front, but we're actually watching the 4th and 5th place. That's the important spots.
Right.
Yeah, so
right.
back
Adam
of the
Maxwell
train.
Right
4th
now
transfers, 5th on.
Brady Atwood out of the bubble. So Brady Atwood in 5th. Adam Maxwell on the bubble, and if Brady can get to Maxwell or do better, he can make the main. But right now it is Overbeck, Brown,
Sobiek now moving by on Brown. Puts Hudson 1 spot closer to the hot seat. Jordan Pryor and Addison Ianello trying to push their way up to the pack right now. 5th and 6th on the circuit, hoping for a little more passing up front. They're running out of time. 2 laps to go. Brady Atwood all by himself there at the end of the straightaway. Overbeck still the leader. 2 to go. And James in the number 48 leading over Nick Sobiek in the 23. Hudson Brown still good. Maxwell still good. Big loss in the 90s that time for Brady Atwood. I mean, he's now outside the draft. And
Brady's way outside the draft, and it's going to be tough for him unless these people start to, get into it. But with only 1 lap left, hopefully, like you said, they just hold their position,
smart,
say,
yeah.
we made it. Let's not get into it now. Let's not prove who's the strong. Oh,
Yeah,
jinxed
look
it.
at here.
You jinxed it.
Right after you say that, Tony.
As soon
You
as I
start
said that,
Nick Sobiek.
Nick Sobiek had to get the lead.
Front
Look,
four.
when you're racing, you're racing. I mean,
The front four are far
Well,
enough
they're
ahead,
going to
but-
race again.
They're not done, yes.
No, they're not done at all. This is good news for Jordan Pryor. He's gotten his way up and into that 5th spot. Addison Ianello wants to go through side by side for the lead. White flag in the air. 1 to go. And as they cross the loop there, James Overbeck to the lead. Adam Maxwell sparking it. Hudson Brown to the hot seat, back to 4th.
Yeah, now Hudson Brown on the bubble, but they got a good distance over the 5th place driver.
They really do, yeah.
So
They should be okay if they
at
don't
this
wreck.
point, let's everybody hold position.
Yes.
We'll see, though.
Oh man, Hudson Brown, he took a look over his shoulder after he realized he was back in the last spot to transfer. He knows there's a big gap out back. Adam Maxwell to the inside of Sobiek. Oh man.
Oh, Sobiek almost cost him.
saved it, though.
It's not over. It's not over. Sobiek getting in. Hudson lets him through. Last turn coming up. Here we go to the checkers. Jordan Pryor is a car length away. Does he make it in? Sobiek defends low. Brown with an over-under. Overbeck will get the win. Oh, and at the line, no changes. Oh man, Jordan Pryor was close there at the end with 2.5 tenths.
I give Pryor credit. He caught up right at the end,
Yes, he
which we
did.
said the 5th place driver would catch up if they got into it, and they got into it twice on the second to the last lap and on the last lap. So, the locked in. Overbeck gets the win. Maxwell finishes up in 2nd. Nick Sobiek gets 3rd. Hudson Brown gets 4th. They transfer on, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then we
Amen.
had
Good for you.
Jordan Pryor, who put up a great fight at the end there. Anthony Quizada in 6th. Mikel Orban Poirier in 7th. Brady Atwood dropped to 8th. He was up there. Addison Ianello in 9th.
Yeah, something happened to Addison there. She didn't even get across the line before they stopped the session and rolled it to the next one.
1 lap.
She was rolling forward, though. I don't know if maybe contact happened with her and Brady Atwood. I think that's what really may have transpired because they were a good ways up on Anthony Quazada and Mikhail Abin-Poirier. And the two of them, Brady Atwood, Addison Ianello, the last time we saw them on screen, they were side by side for 5th, just behind, or 6th, just behind Jordan Pryor, trying to battle to decide who was going to be the next one to get closer to the top 4. Sadly, neither one will make it through. And there you see Atwood back in the pack. And indeed, Addison Ianello, the fan vote winner, was so excited to be a part of this senior showdown. Sadly, her journey, along with Mikhail Abin-Poirier, along with Brady Atwood, along with Anthony Quazada and Mikhail Abin-Poirier, and along with 2-time Grand Nationals champ Jordan Pryor, who comes up just a couple of tenths shy.
Yeah.
They're done for the night. And it is down to our final 10 that will make it for the senior showdown here, a 4-stage, 23-lap main event. They have got to sort the last couple of things out there, but I know Caleb is going to be down on pit lane getting ready to chat with James Overbeck. Adam Maxwell, great drive for him to transfer on through, and everything else for our 10-driver, 23-lapper.
There's Andrew, and indeed, James Overbeck, Adam Maxwell, all able to work their way in. It was kind of wild that they were fighting. They were all in the show, just looking for a better starting spot in that main event, and fortunately, nothing went too bad. They were all able to make it through. They're going to be at the tail end of this field, so we're going to walk our way back here as well. They're way down the order, but again, they had 10 minutes in between the heat races before the LCQ and the main event. Nobody's able to change anything on their go-karts. Even the drivers that just came off the racetrack, like James Overbeck, and like the others that transferred in here as well, and they're going to work their way again here around. But that was a wild race, and up here already, there's some drivers starting to get gridded up, but we'll walk our way back here and start to talk to some drivers that are back here as well. But I mean, this is great. Right, I spoke to Greg Jasperson. I know there's some prizes as well up for grabs for some of the young kids in sportsman, cadet, and in junior. Again, pay attention, folks. If you are standing here trackside, if your kid or if your driver has the matching number from the driver that ultimately wins this race, all three of those kids in those classes are going to get gifts by Cup Karts North America. So that's a cool factor that we have here this weekend. So again, if you have a matching number from any of the top contenders, make sure you look out if they win, because you will get some prizes. And again, it could be a Nintendo Switch. I've heard many things of what it could be. Wicked Nick able to race his way in. Nick, we'll get you over here, man. Walk me through that race. You were able to race your way into it. Walk me through how it kind of transpired for you.
Yeah, it was fine. I didn't get the best of starts. Kind of fell back a little bit. Hudson passed me, then I figured I got to go. My car came in. Went to the lead for a little bit, and James got in me in the back going out the last corner, but it was just hard racing. Managed to get third, and yeah, so we're in the show.
Yeah, and it seemed like you guys were all in the show, but still racing for a better starting position. Were you kind of scratching your head there, because you guys were all battling so hard? Yeah, a little bit. We had a huge gap from the guy behind us, and I'm like, why don't we just play it smart? And went down the block, and Adam was underneath me, didn't see him, got into a little bit, and it all worked out at the end. So, wish you the best of luck in the main event, and you raced your way in, dude. Congrats.
All right, thank you.
Well, there you guys have him from Wicked Nick. He was able to race his way in. James Overbeck as well is back here. We're going to look to hear from him, so we're going to work our way back here as well. Hear from James, like Paul Massimino. Paulie Massimino's dad. He stole our car this morning, actually, at the gas station, so thank you. I have headphones on, Paul. I can't even hear you right now. James, we'll talk to James. I heard a little bit there from Paul. Didn't get the whole thing. James, we'll slow you down here just a little bit. Walk me through how that race went for you. It seemed like you were able to get it done.
Yeah, after all the racing tonight, I feel like I'm pretty pissed off and a little disappointed that I was in the LCQ, but I'm going to win. I'm going to try my best. Really want to do a good job for these Coyote guys. You know, we got a lot of good karts up there. In that first heat, everyone made it in, so it was cool to see that, and then hopefully I can get up there with them. But yeah, really disappointed after that out of the box race. I mean, I didn't even get time to see the replay until I got back after the warm-up session. I mean, my jaw dropped just like watching it. Like, I can't believe like that even happened. You know, I thought I had it won, but I came up short, and you gotta stay classy. You know, I mean, I had that, and then people making inappropriate jokes in the scale line at me, but yeah, we move on, stay classy, and be the better person. So we move on.
Wish you the best of luck there, James. Sorry.
Thank you.
There you have it, and a little bit of a chip on his shoulder for James Overbeck as well, so we'll see how he kind of plays out here. Brady Atwood, former CKNA Grand National champion, one of the youngest drivers here as well. We'll see if we can speak to Brady. I know he's speaking to a couple people here on the fence line. Brady, work your way up here, my man, if you can get a quick interview with us. He's here with the MGM team. Brady, you're one of the only drivers that we haven't spoken to so far tonight. How are you doing? How was your kind of senior showdown gone for you?
Honestly, not the best. We've been struggling with the kart all day. We just haven't really been able to get the luck. And then when you have people like dive bombing you in turns and chopping you and Euro swerving you, it's like you can't really do anything about it.
Well, wish you the best of luck for you as well. And again, unfortunate I see you guys didn't make it in. So we'll see you tomorrow. I know you have a couple of good shots.
Thank you.
Look at some Brady Atwood, the other side, one of the drivers that didn't make it in. And again, we appreciate him. Unfortunate for the MGM driver that wasn't able to work his way into it here today. But well, this is kind of like the dark side, you can say, quote unquote. But the light is at the end of the tunnel over here, at the end of the grid as well. The main event getting set to go underway. The Senior Showdown coming your way next, live on Kart Chaser.
So you finally want to get behind the wheel, huh?
Yeah, I've been shooting for 3 years and I've never got to drive.
Well, you're going to need some more gear than just your helmet. Why don't you go to shopakr.com. They got their inventory online and they'll ship it the same day if you order before 5:30 p.m. Eastern.
They got shoes?
Yep.
Gloves?
Yep.
Rip protectors?
Got those too.
Can they make me go fast?
No.
Here at Acceleration Kart Racing, we've got everything you need to get on track. What happens next, well, that's on you. Check us out online at shopakr.com.
Looking for a team with a diverse calendar? How about a team that offers both full support and teaches you and your kid how to do all the work yourself? For us at Drive Your Line Kart Sport, fostering growth on and off the track in a family environment is what we do. Well, that and bringing home some hardware. Contact us today online at dylkartsport.com.
At Precision Performance Karting and Brandon Jarthacrack Racing, developing winners is what we do. We're a complete karting program with support, driver coaching, parts, and arrive and drive packages at all levels. Trackhouse, Motorplex Karting Challenge, club races, the CKNA South Division, the CKNA Majors, and a complete in-house ladder program with the BJR to move from 206 club racing to the highest levels of KA and X30 competition in the U.S. If you're ready to learn from industry veteran John Seglin and multi-time U.S. Pro Kart Series champion Brandon Jarthacrack, head over to ppkartingfl.com and contact us today.
I'm David Serra, 18-time Australian karting champion, and we're launching Kart Class. Kart Class is an advanced digital training program that suits a driver who's just starting out in the sport, all the way to the driver looking to win a national championship. In this program, you're going to be learning about how to find the ideal racing line and what an apex is, braking and throttle markers, wet weather racing lines, and how to overtake other competitors. We target how to brake in the wet weather, and we look on the mental side of kart racing as well with our mental skills coach. At the completion of this program, you'll be lighting up purple sectors in qualifying, know when to defend on the opening laps, and how to pressure your opposition into mistakes. We teach you the tools to be resilient and how to get in the right frame of mind before a race. We look to complete the whole package by getting a strong mindset, a driving style to suit all conditions, strategizing your race, and getting the last 1% from your team. We'll teach you how to win the final lap of a race, drive in the wet like Max Verstappen, and creating the perfect bubble for yourself to mentally be in the zone. To find out more, click the link below.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 stages, 5 laps in the first 3, 8 laps in the final stage. There's a prize at each level, but there's also a problem at the back of the field. We've got the bottom 2 from each stage that will get eliminated in this senior showdown. So again, breaking down how exactly it all works. Well, you're going to first see the bottom 2 get cut from this session. There's a set of Vega tires up for grabs in one of the stages. There's a Brakes 206 motor up for grabs, and I believe we've got a clutch up for another one of the stage wins. And then it all concludes with the main event, the final stage, stage 4, 8 laps with a brand new chassis on the line. Cale Zimmerman and Paulie Massimino are leading us to green for stage number 1. Here we go, green flag in the air. And we've got 10 of them, all good. Down to turns 1 and 2. Here they go to the grid corner for the first time through turn 3. This has been the trickiest spot, it feels like, all night. But we've got the 10 of them through it, and cleanly through it at that as well. Nice job, boys. We've got them all over to turn number 5. Zimmerman to Mark Steele to Jerry Fandry there in a 3rd spot, but he went wide. Way wide now. The TB's going to go to the back, and it's Overbeck from 7th on the grid to get up to 3rd.
Wow, good run by Overbeck to make it up to that 3rd position. Oh, and Chris Carroll sideways.
No.
And he's
mad at somebody.
We got somebody else in the dirt.
That's not good at all there. Chris Carroll out of it. And now, well, what does that do to everything that we have just seen so far? So this is chaos to kick things off here in this main event as they cross the line. Fandry, Maxwell, I don't know if everybody knows it now, but with McKeithen and Carroll getting collected off that opening lap incident, well, I mean, at this point, if you're everyone else in the field, ride it out. Maybe you really want that opening prize, but you've got time. There's not a huge rush to the end of this stage. There's a huge gap back, and Chris Carroll and Christopher McKeithen, they know it. I mean, they're 3 seconds back from the main group now.
Yeah, maybe the 2 that get eliminated. Kind of looks like it at this point, yes.
Yeah. So, but again, nothing's guaranteed. We've seen stranger things happen, right, fellas?
We've seen people come from the back and at least get back into it. So we'll see what happens there. But a tough break for Chris Carroll and Chris McKeithen.
Oh,
black flag.
Penalty coming out. So they saying penalty for behind contact. Who is the driver? They've assessed a penalty for someone. I'm sure we're getting the replay ready as well of what we can look at of what happened there for Chris Carroll and Christopher McKeithen. That sent those 2 Coyotes to the rear. Who are they giving the penalty to is the big question.
Yep, and it's only a 5-lap race. If you got to go behind somebody and then try to get ahead of them, it's going to be really difficult in the total of 5 laps.
Yeah, that's huge. So what do we have here? 2.5 laps to go. Cale Zimmerman provisionally still leading. Mark Steele Overbeck in 3rd. Paulie Massimino in 4th. Side by side for the next 4-car pack. Sobiek, Hudson Brown, Jerry Fandry, Adam Maxwell. 5, 6, 7, 8. And there is the flag again, waving to let one driver know.
Nope.
Hudson Brown's the one that they've assessed the penalty, and they have waved him off the racetrack. Black flag for Hudson Brown. And right off the bat in the main event, he will be 1 of 2 eliminated.
So that'll allow one of the...
Oh! Wow. James Overbeck just sent Mark Steele into the grass.
Oh, wonder if another penalty's going to go out now.
I don't know. Wow. I mean, this is just getting really, really aggressive at this point in the night here. Overbeck, Mark Steele, side by side there in turn 4. Sent him to the weeds, but again, this is stage 1. This is like a heat race. They're all going to get grouped up in a moment, I believe. So, while meanwhile, oh, that's now the battle for the transfer spot.
Yes.
Christopher McKeithen and Chris Carroll together.
That's right.
And only one of the 2 is going to get to advance unless there are more penalties assessed, which...
Right. We don't know.
We don't know.
But definitely one of them got back in because of the penalty to Hudson Brown.
Yeah, McKeithen now getting by Chris Carroll for 8th. Great catch by our camera crew. That happened all in a matter of moments. 1 lap to go, though. And now Carroll, the number 12, might get eliminated as Hudson Brown has already been eliminated by the officials, sent into the pit lane. 1 of the 2 that'll be removed from the end of stage number 1. There's a look back as well to McKeithen and Carroll. Here's your pairing, fighting for the transfer spot. Up front as well, Cale Zimmerman looking to try and bring it home for the stage 1 win on this final lap around. The teammates are playing pretty nice. Let's check in with the leaders as well. Paulie Massimino behind, James Overbeck in third. Paulie wants this stage 1 win. He went all the way to the grass for it on Zimmerman, and he'll get through. Overbeck to second as the checkers and yellow wave.
Oh, here comes the battle for the bubble.
And there it is, McKeithen.
Will stay in it.
He stays in and moves on.
Maybe Harold might stay in it. We got to see what that other penalty was.
So now, and again, I believe we'll set it properly up to, it should show, we'll set it here for 26 laps, because this being lap number 6 they're working on, this is the caution. And so they will bring the field into the full course yellow, single file restart, based off how they cross the timing loop. So Paulie Massimino, stage 1 winner on the PPK BJR Coyote. He will bring us back around for a single file restart, and sadly for Chris Carroll, the night will end here, it looks like. If nothing else is said, and there it is, sadly, the number 12, the black flag given, and he knows it. Christopher McKeithen tracked him down, and I think for Chris Carroll, when he saw that, how far back Christopher McKeithen had fallen, and that Christopher had tracked him back down, I don't think he was going to fight his young teammate all too much. He realized that maybe Christopher had a better shot than he did. So classy move there, didn't force the issue, didn't crash him for that last spot to keep going. We're down to 8 now as we get set to go back green. Stage number 2 here in this main event of 4 stages. 5 more laps and we'll eliminate another 2 drivers at the back. We're down from 10 to 8. We're getting ready to go down from 8 to 6. Paulie brings us to the green here through turns 1 and 2. Single file to Overbeck, to Zimmerman, Fandry, and Adam Maxwell, the top 5.
Single file restart kind of brought a little more order to
Yes, absolutely.
And we'll see what happens now as this unfolds, because 2 more drivers have to go after the next 5 laps. Well, 4 laps, 5 laps.
Now, as long as you use a little bit of caution, stay in the top 6, don't get wild. We got last segment, but
I don't know. We're getting wild already.
Yes, exactly.
We got wild already. Never heard what that second penalty was, though, that they waved the black flag, unless that was still.
No, that was, I think, to motion to Chris to let him know officially to black flag him into the pit lane. So that was where that second black flag was there on the pace lap. You're talking on the caution lap right there?
No, I was talking about when who got spun out almost.
Oh, Steele?
Steele.
We're going off of the grass? Yeah, we didn't see anything there. Yeah. We were thinking there might be something, but nothing yet, if anything. It'd be, of course, between either him or James Overbeck if it was assessed, but they've let them race on.
Yep.
They were side by side going in the corner. 2 went in, 1 came out on the asphalt, another one on the dirt. Mark Steele, though, he is still in the mix of this all, but he is back in the danger zone right now in 7th, and he is going to get past it again. Going back to 8th now, McKeithen goes by, and the 8-car pack is still fighting it out. James Overbeck, Paulie Massimino, the new leaders. Cale Zimmerman starting to fall further backwards into the danger zone. Here they come to the line, this time by. It should be, again, another couple of laps completed. There it is, so now it'll update there. This is live timing and scoring. I believe they didn't count that first lap after green, so we've actually still got 4 more left in this stage, if that is correct. Side by side here for Adam Maxwell versus Christopher McKeithen. McKeithen trying to race his way from the back to the front now after that incident on the opening lap of stage 1. Mark Steele elbows out as well. He sends Maxwell to the back. So Maxwell goes from 4th, well in the zone, position-wise, to the back of the pack and into the danger zone. And now Cale Zimmerman and Nick Sobiek, the VLRs, are the last 2 on the inside looking out. Mark Steele bearing down on him in the 34, trying to move himself at least 1 spot up and keep the ride going, keep the night going for him, while Paulie Massimino and James Overbeck continue to try to push away up front.
Yeah, Massimino and Overbeck doing a good job of just trying to stay out of trouble and keep pushing up front. And you can see they got a good lead over 3rd place, Jay Fandry. Fandry's been fast, though, tonight. A couple times he went purple. Right now, Overbeck just went purple. So but those two have pushed away two teammates, right? And doing a good job of keeping out of trouble.
But this has become more of not watching the front like you normally would.
Yeah,
but
you're watching the back, right?
Yeah, we're watching the transfer zone, right? Who gets eliminated in this Australian pursuit? And the VLRs collide, and Cale Zimmerman ends up having Nick Sobiek lose not just one spot, but 3. And Wicked Nick is now to the outside. Mark Steele to the inside, and to the inside of Cale Zimmerman. In turn number, well, I guess that would, I'm not sure what our turn number is going to be. There's the white flag, so timing was off by a lap, but we'll go ahead and correct ours as well to match. So final lap, Mark Steele spent the entire second stage on the outside. He is now safely into 5th. Cale Zimmerman versus Adam Maxwell versus Nick Sobiek. They had a little contact, I think, and they have separated. So I think Maxwell and Sobiek, unfortunately, they may not continue. Meanwhile, at the front, that first stage, I believe, was a smaller prize. Each stage, the prizes get bigger and better. And the fight to the end of stage number 2. Paulie Massimino won the first stage. He's going to push James Overbeck through to stage 2. Overbeck, stage 2 winner.
And so who we're going to lose? Zimmerman and Maxwell?
Yes. It'll be Cale Zimmerman, Adam Maxwell. They are their stage 2 eliminations for us. So we'll go from 8 down to 6. Adam Maxwell and Cale Zimmerman, their night ends here. The black flag will be displayed as we go under full course caution once again.
So the transfer people are Overbeck, Massimino, Fandry, McKeithen, Mark Steele, and Wicked Nick.
Yep, so we're down to 6.
Down to 6. We're going to get it down to 4.
Yeah, we got one more 5-lap stage to go, and then it'll be time to move on into the final 8-lap extended stage, and it's a 4-driver fight for the win.
The final, yep.
Again, this unorthodox event here is going to be an all-out brawl to the end. Remember, the prizes already that have been given out. It was a stinger clutch for Paulie Massimino for the stage 1 win. Stage 2 gets a Micron 5. So that's what James Overbeck just won himself, a brand new Micron 5 for the stage 2 win. Now we're entering stage number 3. This stage winner is going to get a brand new Briggs 206 motor.
Wow.
6 drivers are in this one, and only 4 will exit with a chance to race for more.
Green is out.
Back out we go. 5 laps once again here, this time stage number 3. So stage 3 underway now here, 10 laps complete. Going to the end of lap number 15 for stage number 3 of this senior showdown. James Overbeck leads in the blue and white PPK BJR Coyote. He's got his teammate Paulie Massimino behind him in the red suit and the more predominantly white helmet. The black helmet and the green and black TB cart is Jerry Fandry there in 3rd. The blue suit, last year's senior medium Grand Nats champion in his rookie year in senior, Christopher McKeithen. There in the number 19, he's 4th. Mark Steele on his own Barrel Art Steel Motorsports entry, the last of the Barrel Arts left in the field, the only one to make it through to the main event. It's 5th, and then behind him, Wicked Nick Sobiek, the last of the VLRs alive, but Wicked Nick right now not having the wicked pace he needs to stay with the front 5. He's starting to fall backwards once again. So we might be just really talking about a mano-a-mano fight for that last transfer spot. It could be anyone's guess who gets it. And could you imagine as well, we've already seen so much chaos and calamity amongst different drivers, from the Briggs Out of the Box showdown finale to what has happened so far in the heat races for this senior showdown. Can the BJR PPK Coyote boys keep it clean? If all 3 of them, as they run, they would make it to that main event with a brand new go-kart on the line? I mean, it's one thing to go after it against your just random competitors, but then when you got to go back to the same tent, well, things might get a little awkward, Dave Mack.
Yes, indeed, yes.
Update here, only 1 driver will be eliminated from this final stage from race control, so it'll be the final 5. I guess I got it wrong. I don't know. I thought we were going down to 4. Maybe I read the text.
I did too.
I'm going to double check on that right now. I'm pretty sure we were eliminating 2, but I guess indeed we're eliminating just the 1.
Yeah, E3, 2 eliminated.
Oh, yeah, no, I read it wrong.
Okay.
100% on me, fellas.
Okay.
Dropping 1
No
for
problem.
segment number 3.
No
Sadly,
problem.
right now, that looks like Wicked Nick Sobiek.
Yeah, I was going to say Sobiek then is the one. And Steele, if he can stay there, he will be okay for the feature.
Yeah, so
for the
Mark
final.
Steele just needs to ride and fit there.
Yeah,
again,
Sobiek's off the pace.
Yeah, Nick Sobiek,
Yeah.
he's doing everything he can.
He knows it.
He has fought extremely hard to stay close to the lead pack. He just doesn't quite have the speed.
Right.
They know they've just got to bide their time. And at this point here, 2 laps to go. You're probably not going to see much happen, but new engine on the line. Jerry Fandry amongst the 3 drivers here who stood on the podium at a minimum of 1, if not 2 times at last year's Grand Nationals. Jerry stood on it as well in the senior heavy class, led a good portion of that main event. Of course, Mark Steele on the podium in that heavy main event as well as running up front in the Masters division. So this all-star event now has boiled down to drivers that were collecting hardware at Grand Nat 7, and they are looking to be on the first real opportunity, one of the 2 special events here before the main events get underway, collecting some more hardware tonight. 1 lap to go. White flag indeed, Tony.
Right.
And a
One
new
more
motor.
lap. New motor on the line, and it looks like Overbeck. Because I would think they're all going to stay in line. I don't think you're going to see any action at this point. I think you are going to see some real good action when we get down to the final lap.
Final?
And the 5 people that are going to be in that final. And I say, hey, Fandry's been really running good, so he's going to be somebody that they got to be worried as far as if it's Overbeck and Massimino up front. What happened
Paulie
there?
was blocking for James. Little bit of keeping his teammate in front, backing up Jerry. So Jerry Fandry there saying, all right, just keep going forward, man. We'll race it out in the next
We're gonna race
stage.
it out, and that's what I'm saying. I think Fandry's going to race it out with them. He's definitely got the speed that he could do it, but if they team up, we'll see how the officials take that, though.
Stage 3 winner, James Overbeck.
Yep.
He'll collect another prize, so a Micron 5 and now a new Brakes 206 engine. And sadly, well, the night is over for Wicked Nick Sobiek, and he's just going to make, I think, the hard right turn down to the grid area. He has the opportunity to go all the way around and exit the track properly. I don't know if he will. He will. There he is, just flurry, the blue flurry right on by right there. So now we're down to our final 5.
Right.
Greg Jasperson, I apologize, got that one wrong for you about the official final word on it. He gave me the right notes. That was all on me.
That's all right. We got it right.
We got it right now. Final 5. Mark Steele, Jerry Fandry, Paulie Massimino, Christopher McKeithen, James Overbeck. 8 laps, brand new chassis, and bragging rights on the line for the first ever CKNA Senior Showdown. There goes Nick Sobiek. He'll give a thumbs up to the top 5 saying, hey guys, I wish I could be out there with you, but I didn't have it. Wishing a good luck to the top 5 drivers that will remain on the racetrack. So the number 48 will lead us to green for the final time tonight.
We are green,
Here
green,
we go. So 5 drivers, 8 laps. Where do you want to be? Ian Quinn said earlier tonight, fellas, that he wanted to lead all the way. No pushing, no working together. You just can't trust anyone. But what a terrible start, by the way, from Mark Steele.
Yeah,
He got caught sleeping. Or did he? Is he trying to hang back and bank on the young kids messing with each other? I'd be a little surprised to see that.
But I'm telling you, Fandry might mess this up, or I mean, it definitely play a part in this. Split up the 2, Overbeck and Massimino. Let's see. I can see Fandry's getting antsy there already, and he's fast too. He has been fast. So he's got a shot at getting in, at least in between him and possibly winning.
He's already looking to try and make up 1 position. Looking on Paulie Massimino, it's not there. I mean, he is outnumbered. He would have needed some help from Mark Steele, who has already fell off the back of this group. This is a struggle for Fandry for sure to try and stay close. So can Jerry Fandry make some magic happen against the PPK BJR drivers. Again, he knows that at some point the Alliance and the Allegiance will have to go to the wayside, right? You can't just imagine, all right, maybe for a Micron, I'll stretch it to a new motor. They already, some of them already got motors for $450 playing in a part of the out of the box challenge, but
not for the big one.
Not for the big one. A brand new go-kart, the bragging rights of being the Senior Showdown champion. Paulie Massimino, he could add to the history books that he's already begun to write here. What an amazing year he's had. And if you go back in his career, the only event you can really draw a comparison to this specific special event is the Miami Grand National Championship shootout races. He won the very first X30 Pro shootout race. It was his first ever X30 Pro national level win, period. And it came in an all-star event like this in a crazy battle, a crazy last lap dash. That nobody could have predicted. He actually put a move on his now team owner, Brandon Jarsakrak, to get the job done. So could he be the inaugural winner of the Senior Showdown?
There
or
goes Vandry. Just
will
what
it
I
be
said.
Vandry?
He's going to try to get between them, and he is able to do it, I think.
Yep.
He's going to settle in there. Now he has to go after Overbeck. He's got the speed to do it. He's been running really good. I've been watching him, his lap times and everything. He could be a possible winner here. But it's going to be tough because he is surrounded.
Well, how long do these drivers wait before they begin to ride the white line and try to park it, right? I still think we're a couple laps away from that, but you know, if you're Mark Steele, that's all you're praying on right now. You know there's something amiss on that Steele Motorsports Bureau Lark. I can only imagine the long day he's having. We've obviously been live on the airwaves here for now 15 hours, and it has been a long day for us as well. I can only imagine what it's like to have 40 customers, 40 drivers under your tent and counting for Mark Steele.
Oh, Vandry back to third.
But a little bit of help there. Yes, indeed. McKeithen around Jerry. At the line, 4 laps to go, should be the number. It'll be 19 total, complete under green. Overbeck still has led all 4. Halfway through the final stage, there's the cross flag mark. 4 laps to go.
Watch out, James, they're coming for you soon.
Yeah, Christopher McKeithen, he may not be as patient as veteran Paulie Massimino.
Right.
He is the youngest of the kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 punch. Not a 1-2 punch, but a 1, 2, 3, 4 punch from Brandon Jarsakrak to Paulie to James and then to himself. He's still only in his second full year of senior racing, but he's staying patient. Full lap right now completed behind James Overbeck and trying to push him a little further up the road from Jerry Vandry. But like you said, Tony, I just don't think you're going to break this pack up.
No.
Vandry's fast. We know Paulie's fast.
Right.
It's going to come down to these 4. And, well, again, any fireworks that really begin to happen, if they all go sideways, well, Mark Steele is still close.
That's right. Mark Steele will just step in gladly. But,
oh, Paulie with a big upset move there. Up the inside on turn 2.
Yeah, that's it.
He got by on Jerry to take over third.
Yeah.
That's brought a big gap, and now they're 1, 2, 3. Overbeck and McKeithen. You heard from James how disheartened he was at the way that that Briggs out of the box challenge race went down. Led up until the last half a lap, and he and Hudson Brown were going at it, and well, it ended up with both of them right here in this corner in the blue and yellow outside retaining wall. Now he'd like a little redemption, and maybe taking the Senior Showdown win could get that. But he's going to have to go at it with Christopher McKeithen, potentially a driver who has helped coach both of them in Paulie Massimino. And you know what they say about the mentors, right? I might have taught you everything you know, but I didn't teach you everything that I know.
That's right.
What does Paulie have left that he hasn't shown to these 2 young bucks with 2 laps to go?
I tell you, he was showing a lot to them this weekend. He was running excellent this weekend, Paulie Massimino. Doing some great things out there and showing the younger drivers that you still got some things to learn, I believe. So he does have some things I think he can still show them. But right now it is between Overbeck and McKeithen. Vandry now behind Massimino, doesn't have a shot, even though he could be fast. It is between these 2 drivers at this point. It looks like Massimino is just going to make sure Vandry doesn't get by and let these 2 battle it out.
I don't know. Again, there's no prize for second or third. Maybe that's what he'd like to do.
Yeah.
I think, though, at the speed Paulie's going, the reason he went by Fandry is he is starting to hit his stride. Fandry was a little bit slower than Paulie last time by, and Paulie by himself was able to kind of hold
flag
pace.
is out.
Now on the final lap, Paulie goes purple. 52.63.
Yep.
Or at least quicker than the rest of them around. Indeed, purple for Paulie Massimino. Fastest lap of the entire main event. Final lap around. Still no defending yet from James. Couple of corners to go. McKeithen close. Paulie is closed on in.
Here comes Paulie. Will he try to make a move on them? He has to pass both of them to get the win. He's right there.
McKeithen to the lead.
Oh, McKeithen takes the lead.
Overbeck still there, though. Paulie's still back in third.
Paulie looking to the,
Overbeck high and low now. McKeithen still low. Now on the long run down the
Here we
straightaway.
go.
Here's the
go
thing.
to the inside.
This isn't the finish line, folks. That's what it was for the main event. They've got the over under the 90 right here, but McKeithen covered it off enough. Christopher McKeithen.
Massimino does get second. Paulie did get second on that, so he did make the run at the end there. Paulie gave it the best he could, and he finishes up in second. Overbeck gets third, Fandry gets fourth, and Mark Steele finishes it up. What a race that was. Christopher McKeithen comes back and gets the win.
Way to go, Christopher McKeithen.
Yeah, I played that race perfectly. Christopher McKeithen had to fight his way from the back of this main event after a not-so-great opening lap and just continue to claw forward and forward and forward, and well, now he ends up on top of it all. A brand new go-kart for Christopher McKeithen.
Wow.
That'd be I don't know. What chassis do you think he's going to go with there, right. Tony, right? Senior medium, Grand Nats champion, and in the very next main event that he competes in, he goes and wins again. Christopher McKeithen, this young man, is on a roll when it comes to the majors here at Newcastle Motorsports Park.
James Overbeck led 17 of the last 18 laps of that event. At least 17 of the last.
He led a ton, and he won again. Still a good bit. A new motor for James Overbeck.
Yeah,
a Micron. And Paulie Massimino, of course, won the opening stage. Right. All three of those drivers swept all four stages of the main. Jerry Fandry, best of the rest, gave it his all. Closed back in at the end as they began to battle. But McKeithen did everything he could to keep Overbeck behind him and held on for the win. Mark Steele made it all the way to the final stage. Impressive, for sure. I'm sure he would have loved to have a little more speed at the end of it. Nick Sobiek, Adam Maxwell, Cale Zimmerman, Chris Carroll, Hudson Brown, the drivers from this featured Senior Showdown event. They're taking the top three down to the grid for us to be able to chat with. And teamwork making the dream work once again for the Coyote boys. What a race. What a run to the end of the night for them. Caleb Vieska will be standing by with the top finishers from the Brandon Jarscrack Racing Precision Performance Karting Group. And that will close out our show as well from the CKNA Grand Nationals 8 Saturday evening. Tomorrow, we've got the last chance qualifiers in the morning and the main events to follow. We're going to slowly bring everything in because we're getting the lights turned off on us, and I don't blame it all. A long day, a hard, long day for this hard-working crew at Newcastle Motorsports Park and at Cup Karts North America. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported, watched the broadcast, and tuned in to check everything out all day long from Newcastle Motorsports Park. I do believe as well with the top three drivers, it has been at least a good enough run for them to get through the scales, quickly moving. And there's a look at it. Christopher McKeithen, a winner again here at Newcastle. There's team co-owner there, John Seglem of Precision Performance Karting. Picture perfect ending to the night. Late night, but a 1-2-3 run for him, for James Overbeck. There's Jim from Jim Laparty from Coyote. And yeah, I mean, you just can't end it any better. So Christopher McKeithen, James Overbeck, Paulie Massimino, the top three as they roll through scales, roll through tech, and the lights are going off. I don't know where we're going to be able to chat with Chris. Hopefully we'll still be able to see everybody. Because I think it's about that time. Everyone's ready, I think, to go to bed. So we'll see. We'll see if we can't get a word here with at least Christopher, the overall winner. What a run what a finish. A long day. Again, a hard working crew from our end as well. A big thank you if any of you guys in the paddock can still hear, or we'll see any of our crew tomorrow. A lot of our kart chaser guys and girls, they have busted their butts here all day long. Camera crew out in each corner of the station, no different than the flaggers and the marshals around to bring you all this awesome coverage. Our awesome booth as well. Thank you so much to the entire team. And just got one extra word as well here from the Coyote Motorsports Precision Performance Karting Group. They are, of course, Christopher McKeithen, Brandon Darchacrack, Paulie Massimino, James Overbeck. They ran at the front last year. They've been on the product already. They have had a great time racing on it and winning this Senior Showdown. And so they will be donating this Coyote chassis to Racing for Vets, which is such a cool organization. If you haven't heard about it, we'll be bringing more of the information of that to you over the next few weeks. But it is an organization that, based up here in the Midwest, is all about helping out veterans when they come home and experience the love and community and awesome competition at the go-kart track. So Coyote Motorsports, Precision Performance Karting, Brandon Jarschak Racing, this was the plan all along. If any of their drivers got the win, that Coyote go-kart was going straight to the Racing for Vets team. That helps sponsor veterans and gets them behind the wheel and into the community and back here stateside and into civilian life. We're so lucky to be able to have them and to have our awesome veterans that have sacrificed their lives for our freedom to live under the stars and bars. And there it is with the night lights behind it here. So Christopher McKeithen with Caleb Bieska down on pit lane here to give us a little more about all that. And, of course, how he was able to pull off that Senior Showdown inaugural win.
Thank you there, Xander. We're going to run you down your podium finishers in the first ever inaugural Senior Showdown here. In third place for the PPK team, James Overbeck. James, work your way over here, dude. Third place, your trophies as well coming this way. Walk me through that race. You were in the lead for the most of it, but again, your teammates able to get the better of you there.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. We all agreed, I think, beforehand this week that we were going to donate the Karts to Racing for Vets and all the stuff that we won during the race to them. And, yeah, it was super cool. I knew that I saw that they were behind me, so I was like, I didn't really care which one of us won. The kart and all that goes to the same cause. And, I mean, the winner gets a cool kart chaser post. That's about it. So, but no, Christopher and Paulie, they both did a great job. I mean, we were able to work together and really just show what our Coyote team is about, what we kind of pride ourselves on. I mean, I feel like you see teamwork with us like you don't see anywhere else. So, yeah, it's definitely awesome that the three of us were able to do that. I kind of wish Brandon was in there too, but yeah, it was still an awesome race, and really glad we were able to give away all of our prizes to the Racing for Vets guys.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you, sir.
In second here, again, for PPK Coyote, Paulie Massimino. Paulie, what a race for you, dude. You had to work your way back up closer to your teammates. Walk me through that last lap. I heard from James there he wasn't going to risk it too much as well. You guys are on your racing chassis. Walk me through how it was from your seat.
Yeah, I mean, the first stage was good. He left a little bit of a hole going down the straightaway, so figured I'd take it. And then from there on, James got in front of me, and honestly, I didn't really care to do anything. I just was like, all right, I'll just push him. Then the final I was just pushing, riding, whatever. And then Jerry and Christopher got around me. So, yeah, it was all in all, it was good. We accomplished what we wanted. I think as a team, it was good. We did what we planned. Our plan was to, stick as one. Team is one, and we're all a family. So, if Christopher wins, if James wins, if Brandon wins, if Chris wins, if whoever wins under the tent, we all win. So,
great words there from Paulie. Congratulations there on the second place finish.
Thank you.
There you guys have it from Paulie Massimino, your big winner, winning the bout here this weekend in the Senior Showdown. Christopher McKeithen, your reigning CKNA Grand National champion. And we'll have Greg come over here as well with the belt. Greg, if you want to come hand the belt over here to Christopher McKeithen. Greg, the president and owner of Cup Karts North America, and you have him here present the Senior Showdown bout. A pretty cool prize there for Christopher McKeithen. We're not in the UFC. We're at Cup Karts North America here, fellas. And Christopher, walk me through that race. It seemed like it wasn't easy, but you're able to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I got taken out on lap 1 in scoreboard, and I was way far back, and then someone got black flagged. I think it was the person that took me and Chris Carroll out, but then I caught up to Chris, and I made the move on him, and then from there I just worked my way forward, stayed where I needed to be, and saved my stuff for the end.
And who would you like to thank for the first ever inaugural Senior Showdown win?
I mean, everybody under the tent, they all helped out even during the day. It's everybody's open book. I mean, all these guys behind the camera, like Paulie, James, John, Jim's is right there. They're great.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations for you, Christian.
Thank you.
I think it's from Christopher. Sorry, I said Christian. I don't even know why I said that. But congrats to you and one more driver that's standing by here with us, Jerry Fandry. Work your way on up here, Jerry. You stole the hearts of a lot of people watching on here tonight. Just walk me through. It seemed like you just didn't have the pace to kind of fight against the PPKs here tonight.
Yeah, Caleb. I mean, it seemed like we were, really good early on in practice, and the only thing we changed throughout the whole night was, I believe you went up 3 teeth, a little bit of tire pressure, and just went in a little bit on the rear width. But no, our Speed Tech Amarillo Kart Complex TV kart was really good today, and we just didn't have enough. I feel like we had a little bit too much gear, and those coyotes were rolling. But tomorrow I believe we're starting somewhere in the top 15 in medium. And that was really fun, dude. That was really fun, and I'm happy everyone was able to vote me in. So shout out to all you guys at home. And yeah, P4 was all we had, but that was so much fun, Caleb.
Well, congratulations to you, and I know you came short of a Cup Karts North America Grand National Championship last year, and you were actually a late entry. You were part of the extended entries here this weekend, and to be running up at the front, I mean, how special is it with your dad, your mom as well here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, to have such a small crew, underneath that Speed Tech tent, and to be able to do everything that we've been able to do has been it's been a tall standing order. I feel like each time we come off the track, we're just searching for this much more, and I feel like we just missed it by this much tonight, and hopefully we have that much tomorrow, Caleb.
Well, there you have it, Jerry, and best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you, Caleb.
Well, there you guys have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's officially tomorrow. We'll be live in about 6-7 hours time. We're just past midnight, so we'll send it back up to you, Xander. Sign it off.
I think Caleb's a little bit confused, guys. We have a little more than 7 hours until we're live, but that's about when we'll get to the racetrack. 8:45 a.m. more or less has been where we've started to the past few days. Tomorrow does end a little bit earlier, folks, for the schedule, of course, from Newcastle Motorsports Park. A long day. Our hardworking crew, the Newcastle hardworking crew, it's a mission to pull off the CKNA Grand Nationals. And this isn't something with, 1,000 employees. Everything about this event, everything about the Briggs & Stratton 206 package and the culture of the racing that this is providing is trying to keep it economical for the racer involved and the families involved as well. So we thank you all for supporting us, for following along and watching. We'll see you in the morning with warm-ups, last chance qualifiers, and main events.